My name is Nicholas, and I go to Mountain View Elementary School in Thorndike, Maine. All of us kids have art class with Miss Kelly in the art lab. This year, Miss Kelly told us we were going to be making our own books about the earth. We are going to design 6 pages, one for sun, soil, water, air, plants, and animals, with our own writing and art on each page. When we put our earth books together, we had to make a lot of decisions about the design. We made some decisions that real book designers do. We started with the sun, which is not the earth, but it provides all the energy for life on earth.
Now your artwork will be the picture, and your words and your sentence will pop out looking fabulous.
Then we saw the sun as artists had pictured it, complete with faces like kindly old gentlemen looking down at us. We looked at photos of the sun, taken from the NASA website, on the smartboard. We looked at the quilt that showed a soil triangle. Every corner had a different part of soil: sand, silt, and clay. You can tell if slippery clay particles are in soil by feeling it with your tongue. We started creating soil ourselves in our art lab by building worm bins.
This is called point of view. I'm getting an interesting point of view. A red wiggler. Cool, they like corn cobs.
Yeah, they live in them.
That's their food.
The word walls got glued in the earth book to remind us of things that we had done weeks ago. We used the word wall to give us ideas and to make our sentences juicier. Miss Kelly said that in writing about art, the most important thing is to really get into it and come up with something juicy and interesting.
Our role as literacy coaches was to stimulate and create a connection between art, science, and the writing process. The writing process takes students' thoughts and transforms them into a written product. Participating in this Earth Book project gave us the opportunity to be part of a big idea and help make it come to life.
Everybody brainstormed together to make a word wall for each topic.
My circle of words on the word wall.
Soil is ancient and mysterious. Water moves around constantly, from liquid form to solid form to gas. We played a water game that had us running around the art lab like crazy.
We had to stay at the ocean at least 5 times. Hey, look. How many times have I been to the lake? I've been to the lake 5 times.
An animal drank you again, Tyler?
Angelica are going back and forth because look how long I've been to clouds. 4 times. Final, wait. Miss Kelly 7 times. Look. Where's the river? 7 times in the ocean. Where's the river?
Now more and more little particles are forming in the cloud. It's getting heavier and heavier, and now it's starting to rain. It's a giant storm. Oh, it's a really bad storm. There's even some black and some gray. Yipes. Now let me try an experiment. What happens if I drag the sponge?
Water going up into the clouds.
I see water evaporating up off of the ocean. Oh my! Nathaniel's got a major storm happening. Now at this point, think about whether you can see all three forms.
Miss Kelly, do I have all three forms?
Well, what do you think? Now, this is the water page.
We should be really happy that plants exist because not only do they convert sun energy to sugar, which we eat as food, but they clean the air at the same time.
Raise your hand and name one invisible thing that's in air.
Oxygen.
Oxygen, good. Name another thing, Kaya, that's invisible
Carbon.
that's in air. Carbon, good. What does carbon combine with that a tree wants? How would you write it if you were a scientist?
CO2.
CO2. Morgan, tell me another invisible thing that's in air.
Water.
Water, good. How do you write water if you're a scientist? Leah.
HO2.
H2O, good. We know it's windy, but what did the artist do to make us know that?
The problem with making a picture of air is that it is invisible.
Gas that comes out of cows. Methane. Another kid said methane. And I thought, a kid knows about methane? What? Methane is an invisible gas that's in the air. C is carbon, so we've got one big fat carbon and four little H.
Did you know that the gas that comes out of cows can be burned to make electricity?
H2O,
It is called methane.
oxygen make
Just another example of a waste turned into something useful, just like our worm bins are doing.
I got basically almost in my yard. Down.
Ooh!
Raise your hand if you know what it is. Madeline.
It's a willow tree. I have one in my
Yes.
yard.
It's a weeping willow. This tree is where aspirin comes from.
It's named Willow.
Staghorn and Native Americans use this to make tea. And there's actually vitamin C in it. White substance that comes out of the stem.
Milkweed.
Milkweed.
Milkweed?
Yeah, scientists looked at this and they thought this was a good, useful idea, and they invented twisty ties. See how
Like
that's
clippers.
wound right on that part? This is a wild cucumber, and when I was little, I loved this plant. I thought these little things were like little coin purses for fair. These are also climbing vines. How do I know? Josh.
They have the little hook stuff on them.
Yeah, see the little... Why would a plant have prickles? Yeah. What's H2O? Yes?
Water.
Water. What's CO2? Do you remember, Josh?
Gas.
Now, both of those things are getting sucked into a leaf, and the sun is shining on the leaf. What's coming out the other? This leaf turns water and gas into oxygen and sugar?
Yummy sugar.
That's a pretty good deal. Let's put some air around the leaf. Am I wrecking my drawing? You can draw with your eraser. I'm going to put some wind in there. Woo, 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 woo. lights and stuff, you gotta add those.
Pick a plant now.
Do you have any oak leaves?
You'll have to look.
This is really cool.
I know. How about this little one?
This is
You guys have to work together to start.
Yeah.
Remember?
No, Lucas.
Are transforming like really into different colors. Good job. Let's finish that right here.
Here's the plant page. First, there's my art. That this is a real photo of a real occurrence. How was this photo made? Yes, Cassidy.
By an artist.
By an artist, and what did the artist do to create it, Bridget? Computer art can make things look real, and you guys have to realize that when you see pictures on the internet, those pictures could have been made by a computer artist, and they might not be true.
Animals were quite a surprise, since Miss Kelly brought in her own chickens in a cage. We were figuring out how to work our new digital cameras using the chickens as our subject.
Huge, like a monster chicken. If you want your subject to look dinky and weak, you look down on your subject. Vertical shot. Okay, who's ready to download? I need to download somebody. Nicholas is in charge. He will tell you to do what I just told you to do.
Looking for rechargeable batteries only. Normal. That goes in your case.
The list and do the 3 points of view, do the 3 compositions. My silly chicken transforms bugs, plants, and grit into delicious eggs for another omnivore, me.
It was cool discussing how many stomachs different animals have, which happens to the food inside, which animals have backbones, what a gizzard is, where human beings fit in, even what comes out the tail end, if you know what I mean. Everything is connected to everything else. The sun, the soil, the water, the air, the plants and the animals, including us humans. And learning is really fun when everything is connected to everything else. The art, the science, the writing, and the technology. Pretty cool, isn't it?